Good evening, my name is Adam R. Wood, they call me the Zotmeister. This episode of Throwback Thursday, I will be focusing on a company whose name you may or may not be familiar with, but they have so many fan favorites, cult classics even, out there, that they often didn't even have their names on, that I figured it was well worth shining a spotlight on them, especially given how they've been rather popularized as of late, with the announcement of a couple games that they will be producing coming soon, thanks to the recent E3. I am referring to Natsume, company, of course, Japanese in origin. They have been producing games for a very long time. They got started back on the NES, well, the Famicom. This is actually a Famicom game that I've just started to load up here. And they have released things as recently as the Xbox 360. Only one title on the Xbox 360 as it happens. That one is Omega 5, in case you were wondering. But yes, they... Well, for a sizable chunk of their history, they became known as the Harvest Moon Company. That is their big flagship series. And for quite some time, that has been, for the most part, the only thing of significance that most people have noticed anyway, that they have produced. They are apparently set to change that. One of the sort of big announcements among the sort of retro/arcade game fan came out of E3 is that they are going to be making an updated version of a game called Wild Guns. Wild Guns Reloaded for the PlayStation 4 in the near future. And yeah, I'm more than a little excited about that, to be completely honest, and I don't even have a PlayStation 4. I am just happy to see that this is something that's going to be worked on and is going to exist. The original was 22 years old. It was actually released a little later than that in the US, 1995. I have showed it on camera before, but I will gladly take this excuse to show it again. You'd think it would be sitting on top. There it is. There it is. Wild Guns. The SNES, a much more recent version of the Natsume logo. Not quite so visible in this corner, but yeah, my camera does not autofocus, and if I tried to get it to manually focus on that, yeah, I'd be messing with it the rest of the night, probably. And I have actually done Wild Guns on a Throwback Thursday before, and as a matter of fact, there's at least one other game that I have done tonight, that I have on my list for tonight that I have done on a Throwback Thursday before. I'm doing it again anyway, I don't care. It's well worth it. So yes, you will indeed be seeing Wild Guns, the original version, during the course of this. And as it is the most recent game that I have on this list, it will actually be the last one that I will be showing. So yeah, you're going to have to wait for that, but that is definitely going to happen. That is just one of 17 games I have written down here. Some of them I'll be playing longer than others, that's for certain. Their ages range from... Well, the first one is from 1988. You can do the math yourself. These are all NES and SNES titles. They've had lots of things in between. They did some Sega Master System ports. They've got at least one game on the MSX. Very long history that they've got going, and it is still going strong. But we will start where they started. I finished answering that question by the time you'd finished typing it, huh? Yep. It is definitely going to happen, yes. Definitely going to happen. Okay, so let me get things properly started here. Now, this first game I am not going to actually play. for a reason that will become apparent once I actually get to the actual gameplay. But I will demo it. I will show it off because it is their very first title. And it is... Let me make sure I spell this correctly here. Here we go. And I have to show at least the intro to this because of how freaking weird it is. This game is very, very peculiar. This will actually go by faster if I start the game. And the controller actually listens to me. There we go. So we have this weirdo dark protagonist here who has apparently invented some kind of robo-chef duck. I have zero explanation for this whatsoever. None. Not in the slightest. I notice there is a lot of katakana in what is written there. I have made no attempt to translate any of it, except that I can tell you that that 1275 is a year number. And some way, somehow, he uses this device to open up a portal via some old map. To teleport himself. That actually... Yeah, it is. Alright, you can see that. Good. I wanted to compare that with my frame rate, as it were. And you are about to see that individual from earlier jump out of the sheet of paper. Apparently, this guy is just some time-traveling miscreant, and he decided that today would be a good day to mess around with Marco Polo. This is the entirety of what I know about the plot of this game. It was too strange to not show. And it was their very first game, apparently, so I felt compelled to at least show off a little bit of it. And this is why I will not be playing it to any sizable extent. It's one of those menu-based adventure games where I make, commands, suggestions of things to do that the game is probably going to ignore. I did get somebody else to show up at one point. I have no idea how. But it doesn't matter. I am, not going to do anything more with it. Oh, there we go. Actually got him to show up. Spoke with him previously, but yeah, it's not worth the time messing around with it. You get the idea. But apparently, this game, for those who actually do know what it's about and follow it along, has a lot of very peculiar, perhaps even disturbing moments. This is the oldest game I am aware of. I'm sure that someone's going to be able to come up with plenty of counterexamples to this, but this is the oldest game I am personally aware of that employs jump scares, according to reports I have seen on this game. But I'm afraid that I am not going to be able to present anything else about it. I have not been able to locate a translation of this game anywhere. Not saying it isn't out there, I am saying I haven't found one. And it seems like there's an awful lot of information about this game out there, intimate plot details and whatnot, in English. for a game that doesn't have a fan translation. So, yeah, that's a little weird. But, oh well. I'm not a ROM hacker. You won't be seeing me make a game translation anytime soon. Yeah, jump scares aren't my thing either. But I did feel compelled to mention that tidbit, as it may very well be historically significant. It's certainly, I mean, I can't think of any other NES games that have jump scares in them. The very thought of that strikes me as very peculiar. So there you have it. Toho Kenbunroku. The best of my knowledge, this would be translated as Eastern Investigation 6. However, the various translations I have seen of the title, for whatever reason, seem to refer to it as The Travels of Marco Polo. Can't say why. It might be just that my Japanese is bad, or that someone is essentially putting their own title out there based on the plot of the game. I have no explanation for that. And I really don't have that much more to say or show about this game, apart from the fact that that is how this company apparently started. So from there, I'm going to move straight into another game that I am decidedly more familiar with. As a matter of fact, once upon a time, I've once CC'd it. I'm probably a long ways away from that now. But who knows? I might get lucky. This is the other Natsume game I have actually played on stream before. Whoops, I totally spoonerized that. Oops, what am I doing? My typing is getting worse and worse, I swear. It's scaling it down. I'm leaving it there anyway. I am going to be playing for the titles that have it, the US version, but not all of these will. Technically, I should have had Famicom instead of NES there on my marquee for the last game. But yeah, I'm going to be lazy and probably not change that apart from the year as I go forward. Yes, Milton Bradley, of all companies, did the US publishing of this game. Yes, both this and Wild Guns I have featured on previous Pew 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 episodes. Such is the nature of it. I will be playing those again. And I'll do this as a Benny's thing. 1,000 Bennies. If anybody knows, there is at least one other game from Natsume that I have done on a Throwback Thursday. And it is one that I will not be playing tonight, because it is neither an NES nor an SNES title. And if anybody can name that, first one to do so, 1,000 Bennies, because I'm sure that's not going to be an easy question to answer. Oh, wait a minute, hold on a sec. Oh, I just realized something is seriously wrong here. This explains a few things. Let me fix that. It occurred to me that the last time I was streaming something on here, I was doing run speeds. I had the game at 125% speed, and I never fixed that. Here we go. Abadoc's at its proper speed. You actually just watched the intro accelerated, and I bet you didn't even notice. It lasts too long anyway. This is a very straightforward scrolling shooter that clearly takes a lot of graphic inspiration from Salamander, or Life Force, as it was called in the US. Oh, are you kidding me? Alright, you know what? This is a Throwback Thursday, but I'm still gonna Ming Lee this. I want to do at least some distance in this game. I mean... The whole conceit of this game is that you are traveling into some gigantic world-destroying creature. Try to kill it from the inside. You have just your basic fire button here. No charge shot. Firing is rhythm-based. The other button controls the range of your orbitals, how far away from your character they are. Extremely simple pattern for this guy. Oh, are you kidding me? Ugh. Well, if you're going to take inspiration from a game, make it one of the best, right? You may notice I have started the entire stage over again. There's actually little reason not to reset, but... Man, I am beyond out of practice here. Okay. 3 orbitals. Looking good. Didn't miss any this time. Uh-oh. Seems my orbitals are taking a few too many hits. There we go. I like the little star pattern they make if you just hold in the button. Here are its teeth, I would presume. Here we go. We have 5-way fire. Whoa, that was close. I now have protection from a hit. This game, much like its inspiration, definitely suffers from the Gradius effect. If you lose a life, you could be in serious trouble. All your power-ups going away. Why this thing would have a humanoid face inside of it, I have no idea. Yes, those P's, which give me shields effectively, do actually stack, up to a point anyhow. Now I'm protected from 2 hits. Alright, now I've got the laser. And with another missile power-up, I have homing missiles. Well, they home to a point, anyway. They're not the fastest tracking things out there. I got one orbital back. There we go. Ooh. Yes, the Oh, Arcus, hi, good to see you here. Yes, the multi-directional fire is something that I can miss at certain places, but the laser is just so much more powerful that I have no qualms with switching to it whatsoever. Ugh. And later on, there'll be a ring laser weapon, which is what will hopefully carry me through the rest of the game. Certainly doing a lot better than I did my previous runs on stream, that's for certain. There we go. Ooh. Oh, and I actually took that hit. There we go. Oh, Demon Flip! Good to see you here. Yukari fighters? What? Oh, how did I miss that? The 5-way shot again. I think. Oof. Darn. Well, there go my shields. Nice. They were starting to get a little weak. This game is very unforgiving. Difficult? Not really. Unforgiving? Quite. This is... damn it. This is the sort of game that you tend to either finish in one life or you get totally pounded in. That's just the nature of the game, unfortunately. Radius effect in full effect, as I've said before. Well, at least I made it a lot further this time than I did last time, but yeah, dead man walking here. So that will do for my revisit of Abadox. That is again one that I've given the Throwback Thursday treatment to before. But I figured it was well worth mentioning. So, what did they do next, you may wonder? Well, I actually don't know if this is the proper order that they were released in, but the next one I'm going to show you, if for no other reason than that Arcus just showed up, is Shadow of the Ninja. And if Abadox was basically somebody really wanting to make their own life force, then Shadow of the Ninja was someone really wanting to make their own Ninja Gaiden. Simply put. Same year. Don't have to change that bottom line. Let me get this open. I have spent all of, I want to say, 10 minutes playing this tops, and it was actually quite some time ago. But I seem to recall it being really cool. Alright, so the first thing that I should mention is that the Japanese title for this game is simply Kage. Exactly as in The Legend of Kage. And the European title for this game is Blue Shadow, because, of course, back then, England had this thing about ninja and weren't allowed to put ninja in the title of any games. Some kind of a law against it or something. That's why the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are known as the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles in England. Same thing happened here. Well, hopefully... Yeah. Hayate and Kaede here. Notably, this game, unlike Ninja Gaiden, can be played with 2 people simultaneously. This can be co-opted. Gotta love that effect. Oops. Damn. Come on, really? Can't seem to get up there. There we go. I need to tap up, not press a jump at all. Okay. Yes, so we have various weapons available. These are not sub-weapons, so to speak. If I'm holding up and attacking, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Attacking in different directions. Health recovery. Ooh, I apparently really needed. Because I'm playing like crap. Ooh. Oop, I jumped way too early. You actually have a Mega Crush if you hold in the button for a moment. Deals damage to everything on screen, yourself included. Ooh, what am I doing? This is a very simple pattern. How am I screwing this up so much? There we go. I do have a list. Demon Flip. I have it written down beside me here. With that said, if there was one in particular you were interested in seeing, I could prioritize it. Although I would like to do them roughly in chronological order. Now, we'll mention again, there is one game from Natsume, oops, that I have done on a previous Throwback Thursday that I will not be doing today. I'm only doing NES and SNES right now. I did, ooh, these things are a nuisance. They got me. Yeah, only one life. Let me try that again. That wasn't that long. Hey. Continue. Limited number of continues. Looks like I keep the weapon I had previously. Yes. Abadox I had done before, Wild Guns I had done before. But there is at least one other Natsume title for neither of those platforms that I have done on a previous Throwback Thursday, and if anyone can name it before the end of the show, I'm giving them 1,000 bennies. Well, the first to do so. Ooh. Maybe I should just be speedrunning this part? I seem to have switched back to the sword. Probably not a good time to do so either. There we go. Oh, that's... What the... You have got to be kidding me! What?! Alright, you. You're going down. That's one of the most trollish things I've ever seen. Sheesh. There is, in fact, a Natsume wrestling game. Yes, there's one for the SNES. That one is actually not on my list. I don't think I'm going to have the time to get to it, but that is theoretically something I could squeeze in if need be. There we go. Really? My range for this would... Oh, and now we're not attacking at range anymore. Can't Mega Crush him either, can I? Nope. Couldn't seem to get over him. One more. Just one more. I really want to try to see if I can find the end of stage 1 here. Yeah, I've never played this game this far out. Yeah, he just seems to be nudging me around. Giving Kaede a hard time here. Ugh! The moment he stops blocking, he shoots. Well, he certainly made a satisfying death sound. And now there's a monkey that... I was not prepared for the monkey. Ooh, darn. That came out of nowhere. Ah, that's It's one too many falls, I guess. Alright, I don't think we can beat the monkey. I think I can stop playing this here. Yes, falling is not an instant death in this game, which is a really, really nice feature of it. So, if you want a game similar to Ninja Gaiden that you can play with 2 people at the same time, here's a decent choice. Fun little title. Not the most fun game I'll be showing you tonight, though, that's for certain. Okay, let me now move on to something completely different. Except as far as that second line of my marquee is concerned. It was published by a company called Hot Bee, as you can see. But all of the games that I'm playing tonight were developed by Natsume. I made that distinction. There were some games that they published but did not develop themselves. These are all games that they developed. They did the coding for this. Let me get that going in here. Palamedes, named after a Greek prince that has been credited with inventing such things as alphabet, numerals, and of course dice with weights and measures. I don't know how much of that is true. I suspect none, but there you have it. So there are 2 separate play modes here. 2 players is essentially tournament mode. For 2 actual human people to play against one another. But I will show you the 1-player mode first. And this probably... I can just leave it on the easiest difficulty for now. So this was a game that I had to look up the manual in order to see what it was that I was missing, because I'm sure there was something I was missing. Because certainly just shooting out the dice is not the only mechanism to it. So you have 1 button to cycle through the pip counts on the die your character at the bottom is carrying. And the other button fires your die. It takes out dice that it matches. And as you take out dice out, they're listed at the bottom. And what you do with that is press down. And you capitalize on what you have showing there. It basically looks at what hand you've created. This may not look like much, but that sums to 21. That is a hand that will remove 1 line. Here is a sequence. 2 lines, because it's a group of 4 rather than just 3. Of course, a group 3 or more of a kind gets rid of lines. You can actually do some combination setups, like for example, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3 here is a quad plus a sequence of 3, so there's 3 lines. The grand prize is actually not available to me at the moment. Let me make a little more progress here. Yes, I can do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and these sequences do have to be in ascending order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is actually enough to clear away 5 lines. Because it sums to 21, as well as being a full sequence of 6. Clear away all 20 lines, and you move on to the next stage. And the better the hands that you create, the more dice involved in them, the more points you earn for the lines that they eliminate. Which is completely and utterly worthless, because just like Bump and Jump, you get far, far more points for clearing away a full rack of dice without completing any hands whatsoever. Just without cashing in any of them. And these early levels, this is an extremely easy thing to do. Although I suppose you could start on the higher difficulty and make this much more challenging to try to do. You can just gun your way through and be rewarded much, much more than you would by any sort of setting up of combinations. Not sure how I feel about that, honestly. Of course, I'm only doing this in order to show it off, that we are actually looking at the last line now. The number of lines remaining to spawn is at the bottom right. Oops. Yeah, 50,000. Just way so much more. I am not going to bother playing that game out any further. It would bore you to death. I will instead show the genuinely interesting mode in this game. The tournament. And you can opt to play best of 3, 5, or 7. I will leave it on 3. Here's your tournament bracket. Here are the AI opponents we're going up against. And this plays like one of those versus puzzle games. Whenever you complete lines, you send that many -1 to your opponent, as well as clear out your own. The objective being to bury the opposition. Seem to not have a hand brewing. Here, 3 pairs, that's a hand. Going really slowly here, but there's a really nice setup here. And it turns out, the AI is pretty good at this. As easy as that, what would appear to be the standard game is, this is actually really tough. Ambulayan, yo, good to see you. Figured I may as well just wait on that one. Oh well. There we go, that's... No, there are. I totally mucked that up somehow. Oh, she's done already. Oh, I got a different opponent at this stage. Huh. Gave me the old man last time, and I got my butt handed to me in very short order. Of course, I probably still will. Also, I totally call bullshit on that. A 4 of a kind and a pair, you only get credit for the 4 of a kind. Oops. Ugh. Right. Ugh. Oh, got me already. But if you do a pair, a different pair, and then the other half of the first 4 of a kind, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if your first pair matches your third, then you actually get much more credit. Yeah, like this. I get an extra line out of it that way. Rather than doing the 4 of a kind and then the pair. Are you? Holy crap! Yeah, so, what looks like the normal one-player mode is probably fairly easily marathonable, and not a lot of fun to play for a high score. Tournament mode, holy crap! Kinda brutal! So yes, that is Palamedes. I did want to show off both modes there, in the vast difference between them. And from there, I'm going to move on to its sequel, which was never released in the US, although there is a lot of English used on the cartridge anyhow. This was only ever released in Japan, so again, it is technically a Famicom title, but I am not going to waste your time changing that. This does actually show you that the rules are very different. The playfield is a lot narrower, and it moves up instead of down. You have a button to cycle through the dice showing in any one column, so you can reach the one that you want to grab and throw it up. Again, complete a hand. Matter of fact, there's a list of hands there. Yeah, dust if you've got nothing else set up there in your hand. Do that sum to 7 is worth a line, 2 pair, you know. Run or a set. In this game, they do actually let you make a run in reverse. They actually show you here, 6, 5, 4, 3 counts. And the Royal at the bottom is both a 4 straight, plus it sums to 14. So yeah, they give you an extra line there. And in single mode, rather than it being a difficulty level, it's actually a level number that you start on stage. Now here's the real clincher. You see that die at the very top, that ace? That restricts what I can put in the line. I can only put a 6, ace, or deuce up there. If I try to put a 3 up, it'll just come back down. Same for a 5. Now that there's a 6 there, I can put a 5, a 6, or an ace. Either matching or off by 1. And I'm actually going to get crushed right here, right now, as I'm talking about the game, but that's okay. Yeah, so you actually have to work with the same sort of mentality as you would have in golf solitaire. If you've ever spent your time doing that with a deck of cards, I know I have. If you want to kill yourself really quickly, you can actually press up to pull the line. Fun. But yeah, it is once again down that you use to cash in a line that you've got brewing. So let's see, we can put up... Actually, that sums to 14, so... oh, right. Here we go. There's a set of 4. Run of 4 will get us back down again. 5, 6... That probably doesn't count as a sequence here, does it? Nope. I can't use that at all. Here we go. Ace... 6, 5, 4... all the way around. Oh, I'm just short of it, aren't I? Oh, I can do it this way. 5, 4, 3, 2. Perfect. And we're right back to the bottom. You get the idea. I'm not going to spend any more time playing this particular mode. I will show off that it has a couple more here. match is against another human player. So I will go straight to quest, which is like match, but against somebody else. And you can choose your opponent difficulty, and I will choose easy, because this game is just as brutal as its predecessor. Apparently the opponent's based on the zodiac constellations. And this is why you might want to pull the line, so that you can get more ammo to try to bury your opponent. Now, I hasten to note that there is only one die up at the top of the screen. What am I doing? So, both you and your opponent are working... Oops. I'm more than a little screwed right now, aren't I? That goes some to 7, I can use that, right? Ah, yeah, I got nailed already. So, much like the card game Snap, I think it's called. You can totally just sort of outspeed your opponent to change the number up there as it changes to whatever die gets played by either player. And totally screw with them! What the hey? Why was he not getting smashed? There he goes, finally. Sheesh. Let's see if I can actually beat this guy. Ugh, come on. What are you doing to me here? Actually, I just kind of mucked myself up there. Thank you. Bye. There we go. That's enough of this one. Oh, actually, let me see what the next opponent looks like. Curious. Good enough. So, to show off what is on the other side of the field, as this game has a Mode 2, obviously matches playing the quest here against another person. This plays a lot more directly like the aforementioned Golf Solitaire. You don't create hands or cash them in, you don't move up, dice don't raise up. Instead, they just plain give you a full line. You can't even rotate the dice. You're just throwing away what you have as quickly as possible. First person to empty their line wins. It's like a digital card game. If the number up top ends up becoming something neither player can use, there will be a countdown. There he goes. And then it will change. Got him. And you can start throwing cards up again. Well, dice, but yeah. This strikes me as the sort of game... If you had two very competitive people present, the matches could get really, really epic. Ooh, no. Fuck, waiting. Oh, come on, really? There might have been a way for him to go out there, but didn't happen. So that's Palamedes 2, Star Twinkles. Never got localized. According to the fine folks at the cutting room floor, it seems that there was data present in the cartridge so that if they ever did localize it, they could have done so very easily. But it never actually happened. They did not release that one in the US for whatever reason. Those are the Palamedes games. And from there, you're going to see a run of action games now. You're going to see... Actually, I think they're all going to be action platformers to a certain extent. Be a little bit of variety to them. So let me see. The next one I will do, called Power Blade. You'd think this is one I would be familiar with already. It's a fairly popular... Come on, what just happened? This is a fairly popular game. I remember it being featured in Nintendo Power way back when. For some reason, I never played this. It was published by Taito, but... Again, Natsume's work. The MCP? Somebody call Tron! No, I said Tron, not Nova. Who's this Arnold wannabe? I don't trust that guy. I really don't trust that guy. Yeah, it does look like Duke Nukem, yeah. Those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride. That probably sounded nothing like him. How long is this guy going to talk for? Turn it down slightly. Not much. This is the first time I have ever played this. By the way, this actually happens to be a blind play. I am not familiar with this game. Oh, looks like I have a choice of stage. Yeah, it's a weird thing about these. Well, it's nice. I can throw at different angles. Can't seem to throw it that far. Circling around, I take it? Oh. I'm waiting for those to go away, and then... probably could have been better. I'm hoping that my power maximum goes up over time or something. Really? Be one of those games? He jumps really high, but not very far. Look at this. You can hit his head on that ceiling, but that's all the distance he covers. And despite knowing that there's a floor under there, that was still fatal to him, huh? Yeah, I didn't get around to test playing nearly as many of these games as I had hoped to. I've mentioned this before, but I suppose it bears repeating, that I sort of simultaneously feel as though I don't do enough in preparation for these Throwback Thursdays. I often find myself winging it a lot more than I would care to. But at the same time, I spend a lot of time and effort. Ooh, oh, I can throw two at once. A lot of time and effort doing research for these. For something that's only going to last for 4 hours. And that I'm not being paid for. I'm sort of simultaneously doing... Let me try this ladder. Simultaneously doing too much and not enough work for these. He must be Nova indeed. Okay, so that was apparently how I used the grenade. And I failed to reach that ladder. I'll just pick continue. At least I don't have to watch the intro again. I want to make it a little bit further into this. This game seems to want to take itself a lot more seriously than, say, Shadow of the Ninja. And its monkey. But I figured I would, give this, another go. It wasn't that long. Might be nice to see a boss or something. Alright, so I guess what I'm gonna have to do here is talk to this... Oh, I guess I don't need to talk to him again. I'm throwing red boomerangs. It's probably a good thing. Very Mega Man here. Oh, you can't throw up at an angle when you're on a ladder? Really? Ugh, would have been like the most useful time. Wow. Okay. No checkpoint for me. I will not be continuing again, by the way, no matter what happens. I have too many other games on my list. Oh, he didn't drop a grenade that time. Increased range for the boomerang. Much increased range. Are you kidding me? Holy crap, I'm doing bad here. Oh. Doing the whole enemies respawn at screen edges thing. Uh-oh. I have no idea what was about to happen there. I'm glad I got out in time. But give me... Oh, cute. Heap unit. Oh, what's going on here? Give me just a moment. I'm seeing an awful lot of encoding overloads here. Let me see if I can figure out the cause of that and do something about it. Whoa, that would certainly explain it. Change that right here, right now. Okay. Now we're talking. Yeah, you can't throw them on a ladder. Well, here. Oops, fell off the ladder. Nope, only left and right. Not even up or down. But on ground, up. Well, maybe I can, yeah, jump and throw them down. Actually, it looks like he does a kick of sorts. Probably just the animation when he throws it straight down. I guess I can't destroy that thing. Interesting. Ah, someone else with boomerangs! What might this be? Whoa. Okay. This looks pretty cool. In a power suit of some kind. Oh! Oh, okay. Huh? Oh, really? And they're giving me Medusa heads? Ugh. Okay. Tempting to just grenade that guy. Oh, I want to turn my back to him. Yeah, no. I didn't even want to think about jumping down there. Oh, darn. There goes the suit. Yeah, I don't think I'm making it to that. Let's go down this ladder. Looks like there's some interesting secrets to be found. I can see why this game was well regarded. Another encoding overload. Come on, stop it. Beast. And this must be a boss. I am in so much trouble right now. Hey, you can block! Ah. Of course, now I've lost my... Well, I actually do seem to have power-ups still. Oh, that's mean! Have to sneak under him when he jumps. What does he do? He fires straight down. Ugh. Oh, come on! Where do I start when I continue? I'm curious. Yeah, no. Well, so that's Power Blade. This seems to be a playable game there. Should be interesting. Yeah, I actually ended up downloading digital versions of manuals to a number of these titles, hoping to go through them, and I didn't even have the time to do that. I am not happy that that ended up being the case, but... So that was my first experience with Power Blade. It seems like it's quite workable. I am going to go from there to a game that I have a lot of experience with. Published by a company called Sofel. This odd little one-off has something of a cult following. A very, very small cult. Not a lot of people actually know about this game. But I happen to really like it. Pretty smooth for a unique little title here. Been quite some time since I've played it. Hopefully it will come back to me pretty quickly. The game it's perhaps actually most famous for its music. Very popular soundtrack here. Ooh. Being attacked by the weather. Always interesting. Mega Crush. So the top meter is my health. Not very long, although it will get longer for later stages. The bottom meter that I'm filling up as I defeat enemies is my dragon gauge. That's health recovery. And when things get a little obnoxious, I can use it to transform into a dragon. I bet you didn't think that the dragon fighter in the title was quite so literal, did you? And when you do become a dragon, the game auto-scrolls. But you gain significant firepower. And the meter drains over time as you... whoops. As you, remain in dragon form. And you do not... Do you gain dragon power when you... I think you... So it's actually a fascinating little balance. The one thing that's perhaps a little counterintuitive is the way that you transform into a dragon is by holding up when you press jump. And it is when you reach the peak of that jump that you transform. This is the sort of thing that, if you didn't read the manual, you probably wouldn't have found on your own. And it means that when you're in an area with a very narrow ceiling like this, it's actually very difficult to transform. You need to basically just tap the button. Actually, this might be too slow to do it at all. Yeah, if you just tap the button, he won't jump as high and he'll transform at the top of that. I'm actually running very low on health. Oh, there we go. That helps. Definitely want to save some dragon power for the boss here. And yes, those snowballs he fires out are dangerous, as I unfortunately just demonstrated. You may notice that my dragon gauge is not blinking right now. You can only transform into a dragon if it is at least half full. And this is not going to be... There we go. I always liked this tune. This stage here looks like it was inspired by Habidox itself a bit. Yeah, these enemies that come up from the ground, what they do when they're walking along a platform and encounter another one above them, the way that they sort of tumble forward and come out like from here to here-ish, kind of obnoxious. Oh, that guy died. I actually bailed. I was gonna... Here we go. Yeah, that. That's very dangerous. Knock that guy down a few. You can't actually destroy him, you just knock him out of the way. Ooh. Dragon meter filler? Ooh. Looks like I should use some of that, come to think of it. This guy follows you. Scrolls with the screen. Intelligent little jerk. I say little, but he's like twice the size of the protagonist. Why am I wasting my time doing that? If I were to ever try to speedrun an NES game, this would probably be one of my earliest choices, one of the first I would try. Ah, here we go. Yeah, we have turned red. We are now a red dragon. Dragon form, we have a different weapon. A ground flame. Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay. Oh! Got stabbed, but good there. Limited continues. Let me try one more, though. You stay red. Why am I getting so many encoding overloads tonight? Should not be happening. Okay. Yeah. Attacking with the sword is a rhythm deal. Oh yeah. You do actually have a charge shot you can perform in human mode. And the nature it takes is dependent on your color. Damn. Alright, time to... Yeah, you do not have a charged shot as the dragon. Ugh. Yeah. Notably, if you get hit mid-jump, you're not transforming that jump. You have to be careful. It won't just magically save you. You're in trouble. Telling me I'm almost out of dragon power. And that I'm going to suddenly stop flying when it runs out. Ah, Chilean Retro Gamer, good to see you here. Doing reasonably well under the circumstances. Ow. That's alright. Let me actually remind myself of what the charge shot is when you're still green. Can't actually start the game until it, There he goes. A little obnoxious. That's the soonest you can start the game. Yeah, just one shot straight. Oops. It does take a while to charge up. And you do not gain dragon power for the things that you shoot with it. But it can be useful all the same. Like, sometimes those bosses just don't seem to let you get within sword range, so the charge shots is at least an option available to you. Well, that will do it for this one. This is a game that I am very fond of. I was actually kind of surprised, and yet at the same time not surprised, when I learned that Natsume were actually the developers of this. I certainly didn't know back in the day, but given the graphic style and the play style and the music, it makes perfect sense. It has them written all over it. And I am happy to be able to add that to the list of games of theirs that I am very fond of. So in the interest of basically alternating between games I'm familiar with and games that I am not, in order to sort of mix up the proceedings here. The next one I play will have the very unpleasant sounding name of Shatterhand. All one word. This is another one that I know, yeah, it was published by Jalico, but you can actually see Natsume's name right there on the title screen. Let them keep it there, I guess. This is a very highly regarded game, and another one that I've spent maybe all of 5 minutes playing. Such a massive blowback on your punches in this one. I've collected 2 betas. I'm pretty sure something really nice will happen on a 3rd. Oh yeah, he does have like a knockout punch too after he's done a few basic ones. Alright, power-ups. Duck down on those stations to accept them. Give me that coin. What the... Come on, really? Oh, that's bunk! It's hard to see, but if you watch carefully as he comes down from a jump, you'll see that the wind actually takes his jacket. It flutters up a bit. I really like that effect. They did a very good job with the animation in this game. Alright. We now have a buddy. Seems to have a charge attack here, too. Oh, maybe not. It looked like his jacket was glowing when I was holding in the button, but... nothing. Ugh. At least that time it didn't nail me. I am using coin when I use those platforms, by the way. Little hover buddy shooting at the guy there. He can grapple onto the walls. Sort of. Maybe some of them. Oh, it's the fence he's grabbing onto. I see. You may want to remember those coins and the way they look, because you're going to be seeing them again in the next game of theirs that I play. They look very similar. They seem to bounce and move in the same way, too. A little bit of code reuse. But I won't be mentioning that during that next game. I've got way too many other things to say about it. Ooh! What? Aww! Bomb. Alright, you bison-looking... jerkhole. Oh, cute! I'm bad! I have no idea why I was compelled to say that. Now that I have finished the first stage, I would seem to have my choice of follow-up target. Wild Arms does the same thing. This one looks interesting. Because I've been kicking Dragon Ninja butt recently? I don't think so. I think it's been the other way around. Ow. Yeah, guns versus fists. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, I don't have the money for that power-up. Never mind. Ah, come on, really? Alright, I'm gonna get this guy first. Let's see if it lets me... Yeah, it does. Okay. Alpha or beta? Well, we've seen beta. Let's try alpha. I wonder if every combination gives you something, or just threes of kind. I hate this part already. Some way, somehow I didn't get hit there. Oops. Not too high. Oh, come on. I know you can get that guy. There you go. Oh. Perfect angle. There goes my money. I need the health. Really? What's... Interesting, he just kind of peers off into the distance there. If I hold forward against the edge. I guess they'll... Whoa! Hello! Did not anticipate that. I lost my beta buddy. Maybe I can get an alpha amigo before I go down. I assume I don't want to stand in that stuff for long. Ugh. Not again. Oh, he's down for the count. Music slowly fading. I do have a life counter, okay. You'd think I'd have remembered he was there. What do we got? I don't know if I like that better or not. Huh. I think I may have preferred Beta Buddy. That was apparently a bag of G. Oh no! Both of them! Well played, game. Well played. Did not see that one coming. Ugh. I've lost so much life already. No! That was terrible. Oh well. That is Shatterhand. And apparently, I really need to take my break. Holy crap. Oh wow. Something I wasn't expecting from a game of this time frame. High score table. Oops. Yeah, I'm gonna take that as a sign that I need to take my break now. Little on the early side, but not too much. I will close that one up. So, when I come back from my break, the next game that I show off will be the one... Oh, actually, no, it won't be. That one's further ahead down the line. Okay. The next one that I'm going to show is actually going to be a little bit of a genre jumper. It won't quite be like Dragon Fighter, where you switch, between platforming and auto-scrolling shooter on the fly. But yeah, when I get to the boss battle, you're going to see it's something very different. Something you would probably not expect to see on the NES in particular. At least, not much. And coming up a little later on, a game that I have put quite a bit of research into because it is just amazing. It's hilarious, it is very well designed, and you've probably never heard of it. That will almost certainly be the highlight of the week. But before any of that happens, it's starting to get hot in here. I'm starting to get thirsty, and my play is declining rapidly. So I am going to get up, stretch my legs, take a little bit of a rest. I will be back in a short while. I will, of course, give you some music. Take care until then.